What's up everybody? Today we are finally working on the Mito's brakes again, because as a lot of people may remember from my Nürburgring video where I was going the first time on the Green Hell with this car, the brakes immediately overheated because Brembo extras are not designed for track performance. They're just designed to in the first place look better than the original Brembos and have a little bit better cooling capabilities due to the holes and everything, but it's not really a performance brake. That's the point. So what we are doing with the Mito today is get rid of all these rusty brake discs and pads. The car's been sitting for quite a while, so that's why they are that rusty. But the important part is what kind of brakes are we installing. So we got Tarox F2000s. We got Brembo Sport HP 2000 brake pads for the Tarox discs in the front. In the back we'll have ADE power discs combined with EBC Yellowstuff. Now there's different opinions about EBC, and a lot of people like EBC and a lot of people don't. I was speaking to a man on the phone who sold me all the brakes, who's part of an internet shop which is only for everything related on brakes. So they really focus on performance orientated brakes, and they have discs and pads that are highly legal in Germany, and that discs and pads that are for the street. So they have really a wide range, a wide portfolio of products. So what we're going to install is going to be a bit confusing for experienced mechanics, I guess, because you usually do not mix different brake pads front and rear, especially together with different discs in front and rear. What could happen was with older cars, if you have more aggressive pads in the rear, what we have now with these Yellowstuff, is that the rear axle is over braking, like it's almost like oversteer, but while you're braking. That is not really a thing today anymore. I had a long, almost 2-hour conversation with him, and he assured me that you can take these EBC in the rear. And because I just like to try out things before I'll judge anything, I'll just say we are going to do that, and we'll see if that is the case. We're not going for EBC Yellowstuff in the front though, because they're too aggressive for everyday driving. This isn't a track tool, this is my daily driver, and I want to have a track performance capable daily driver. So that is why we are upgrading these brakes to street legal in Germany, but track capable, you know? If the police pulls you over and you have anything illegal on the car, or anything that the TÜV doesn't know about, then you could easily be walking home that day. It does happen, I'm not kidding. So we have these HP 2000s in the front because of that. They should be good though. These are the best Brembo pads you can get for the vehicle that are street legal. So what else do we get? We got the F2000 disc. This is very, very expensive. It was, I think, 500 bucks. The overall kit was 800 bucks. Is kind of much for me, and kind of much for a street legal daily driver car. But I wanted to have good brakes because last time on the Nürburgring we didn't. I got steel brake lines, of course, because that's kind of necessary to go on the track. And we got the MOTUL RBF660 factory line DOT4. Very good fluid, highly recommended by a lot of people, so we are going to use that. What we are going to do as well is clean up the calipers in the front, and we are going to clean up and throw in a gasket kit in the rear. I'd say let's start doing that. Okay, now that we got everything disassembled and our calipers laying around here on this cardboard, we're gonna paint this. Now we disassemble everything to give it a good clean, and I also put everything in citric acid, as you saw. So we also got some parts still in there. Everything was put into citric acid overnight, so they've been in there quite a long time, and this is a natural acid that isn't really harming anything, not any of the components, but it's good for removing, or starting to remove the upper layer of rust and dirt, so it makes it easier to clean, and that worked out kind of well. I think these calipers, they do look kind of clean. Honestly, gotta say, never painted a caliper before, so I have no idea how that will work out and if I have enough paint or not, because this kit is actually for painting everything while it's still installed. Okay, I'd say let's start painting. Okay, final day of assembling the brakes with our freshly painted calipers. Everything was sitting in here overnight and nice and dry, and is actually looking really good. I really like this gray color. I thought it would be a bit darker and a bit more metallic. Guess they just sent me the wrong color, but it looks a lot like Nado gray, what you get on Audis and Skodas and everything. What we gotta do first though, because that's a very important part of upgrading your brakes, that is seal brake lines. So I was talking about it before in this video, and now you're gonna see how we will install them. It's actually straightforward. You just get rid of the old one and put the new one in, except for this one here. This one is the connector for underneath the car. Down here, well, right there. Steel brake lines are good for keeping your brake fluid from getting too much water over time, and is of course better for letting heat through, because they're made of steel instead of rubber. Once we've done that, we will reassemble everything and test drive our new brakes. Let's do it. Now, before I reinstall the caliper, we need to push back the pistons, of course. For that, we just need this tool. We don't need the push back piston specific tool for brakes. No idea what the word for that is in English. Let's push back the piston. Then we of course need to install our little brake line on the caliper and the two little bleeder caps, nuts, screws, whatever, valves, yeah. Take this, and all we gotta do is push here a little bit, and it comes back into the caliper. And to avoid scratches on our fresh paint, we can just do it like this from the inside. Okay, we need to install the line on the bottom, which is here. There's only one way the line could be installed because of the design here. All the way around. Okay, bleeder valves on the other side. That should be an 11. Now, next thing is going to be our new pads. Brembo just talked to a guy who said, yeah, Brembo's kind of shit. He's racing Alphas, so he should know. Everybody tells me different things, and I'm just gonna try these pads, and if they're trash, I'm gonna drive them until they die, and I'm gonna do something else. He talked about some brand called Patex or Packet, yes, or Packet, whatever. And the pads always go with the curvature of the disc, so they go in like that. Thing I forgot is that inside the caliper, of course, we will put some ceramic paste, otherwise the pads could get stuck in there. We will just gently do that. Okay, yeah, best not to put that inside the car. So yeah, slides in easier this way. We shouldn't forget this bracket here. And from the rear side of the caliper, there goes in these pins. That's the pads installed. Just give them a little go with the hammer, and that's about as much as these pins should go in. Don't go too hard on these pins. I had a hard time to remove these the first time I was doing something on my brakes. And let's actually install this now into the car. Yeah. Achso. Ja doch, habe ich alles festgemacht. Passt. Okay, we're off to installing the caliper. You know what's really funny? The screws that hold the caliper in place, I wanted to replace these because they look kind of old, and I like to have new stuff on life-saving relevant parts on the car. However, there's no way to get these, and on the other side, one of these heads is dangerously close to being round, so unable to be opened without drilling. So I wanted to have new screws, but Fiat doesn't have these. I gotta go to Brembo directly, and there's no customer support for Brembo parts unless you're looking into buying new stuff for your car. Like not new screws, I'm talking about new brake systems. Yeah, which is really stupid. Okay, while up here we will fill up the system with our new racing bike fluid. Down here on the wheel we will have to bleed the system, of course. Now we already did that in the rear. You always start from the farthest part away from your brake fluid container. And then you work your way from, in this case, the rear right wheel to the rear left, and then you go to the front right and later to the front left. And then we are finally ready to hit the road with our new system. Of course, you'll have to drive the system in or ease in the brakes. Let's say for 300 or 400 kilometers, you should go easy on the brake, give them a little bit of a nice time, and then you should be ready to go. Okay, and that's it. Everything is in there. We got all the fluid inside the container, and we bleeded the entire system. Some of the brake fluid was going onto the rims, so we might get the wheels off next time. So viel daneben gegangen, aber es ist mir jetzt auch egal. We were kind of in a hurry now, so we didn't, but yeah, everything's in, and I'm very excited to see how these new discs and brakes work together. But first, let's ease the system in, and we'll talk to you after a drive of 400 kilometers.
Wir haben 20 nach 5. Wir müssen langsam sehr schleunigst los.
Okay.
A few moments later.
Wow. Okay guys, so far so good. I've been driving with these new discs and pads for I think 2 months now, and like we installed everything late of September, and now it's the beginning of November. Actually, you can tell the time difference looking at the window because it's really cold now. I'm still running on my summer tires right now, and I really need to change the winter tires. But before I did that, I wanted to get to the Nürburgring, which we will do in the next video, or we will do a proper test first in the next video of this 80 to 0 stopping distance test that we did with the Brembo Extras. But this video here was all about installing the brakes and how do they feel after 2 months of driving. And I gotta tell you, in the beginning I was a little bit scared that we messed up easing everything in. We were driving roughly 400 kilometers on that day to ease them in, and because we needed to get somewhere far away on that evening. And there was 1 or 2 occasions where somebody in front of me braked kind of early, and I was not expecting that, and I had to brake more than I would feel comfortable with new brakes. Yeah, I was a bit scared in the beginning, and they do sound a bit weird. I think performance brakes, they do sound different than standard street brakes, but yeah, overall it turned out to be fine. There's no damage on the discs at all. Well, so far you gotta trust me on this one, of course. The brakes have been great. Showing them to a couple of friends that are also more into performance orientated cars, and they were kind of impressed, and I was kind of impressed as well how nice how nice they bite. And you have really a high confidence in comparison, of course, to the broken discs before. But the pads together with the Tarox so far, they seem quite nice. We'll find out on the Nürburgring how much of a difference they make in comparison to the Brembo Extras, which broke on the Nürburgring. If that was a user failure, like if I did anything wrong on the track, or not give the brakes a lot of cool down after a lap, or if it's the disc's fault, I have no idea. However, they are street discs, so to be fair, it's not Brembo's fault really. It's just, I was probably misunderstanding the purpose of the extra line. Yeah, this time we got racier street performance brakes. Let's find out in the green hell how these brakes will cope. Really looking forward to that. If you're too, please check out the video and stay tuned for it, and please subscribe if you're new to the channel, of course, and I'm gonna see you in the next video.